I play on Hall of Fame, so you guys don't think that I'm beating up on a rookie computer. We have topics already planned out, but we don't know each other's answers. So it's going to be a lot of fun for all of you, hopefully, anybody watching, and it'll be fun for us. Topic number one. Oh, I'm Night Mamba 23, first of all. Alright. And my friend over here is Bearded Chunk. Not gonna say our real names, but you'll learn mine from 2K, so not that it matters. But, you have anything to say before we start?
Let's get right into it.
Alrighty. Start it out, my friend.
We are going to start out with the most recent sporting event. That would be the finals. And this topic shall be who should have gotten the MVP between Durant and Curry and whoever else you think should have been in there.
People will probably say LeBron.
Hey, well, he did average a triple-double, so I mean, I can't blame him.
Yeah, I can't blame people for wanting participation trophies. It's just the world we live in. Alright, well, my take on this is widely known by everybody who knows me in real life, and that should have been Stephen Curry. Averaged 1 rebound and 2 assists shy of averaging a triple-double. You know, LeBron Duff's series is one of a kind in its own. I don't know, he's one of a kind. He's changed the game. I don't think it's fair that we automatically jump to Kevin Durant just because, you know, it's his first finals and he finally did it, so let's give it to him because he finally did it. Well, Steph redeemed himself for the last 2 years. I just think he made a... it's so hard because KD made a huge splash, but just as big, if not bigger splash than Kevin did.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant in his first NBA Finals scored over 35 points a game. So I mean,
this was his second Finals, but it's the first one he's won.
Well, yeah. That's what I meant. I mean, and he did it against the supposed greatest of all time, the King. I mean, I can see why, you know, Durant got it. I mean, Durant had a great series. Even Game 4 when they lost, he still scored, I think, 32 points.
I don't know, it's a two-way award in my eyes. LeBron averaged a triple-double. Stephen Curry's guy averaged probably 32. But, I don't think it's... KD didn't exactly do a great job guarding LeBron. And
yeah, but who can really guard LeBron one-on-one and keep him from
yeah, he's too strong. Nobody can. That's the answer. Nobody in the NBA right now can stop LeBron James yet. Hopefully. You know, if you ask LeVar Ball, I'm sure Lonzo can do it next year.
Well, that's because LeVar Ball thinks he's better than Michael Jordan. What did he average in college? What did he average in college?
2.2, I believe.
What did he average in the NBA?
I didn't make the NBA.
And he's saying he can beat. He's saying he can beat Michael Jordan.
Yeah, let's stay on the MVP topic before we talk about losers. People are saying LeBron, and I guess, you know, a triple-double is ridiculous to average in the finals. But the same people that are saying LeBron should get MVP because he averaged a triple-double are the people who said that Westbrook shouldn't get MVP because the triple-double wasn't good enough to carry his team past the first round. So...
The only reason he got that was because he was the only person on his team carrying. There was no one else on that team to carry him.
Right. Are we talking about Westbrook or LeBron?
Westbrook.
I think the answer to that is both.
LeBron had so many more weapons.
Oh, absolutely. Kyrie Irving's better than probably Russell Westbrook as far as scoring the ball goes. So.
And then Kevin Love's game 4 was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think he shot like 8 for 10 for 3.
I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it was 7 for 9.
Okay, well, either way.
Still, that's.
But he disappeared in Game 5, and that's why we're talking about the series MVP instead of talking about Game 6 tomorrow night. Oh boy. Steph's worked hard. I'm not saying Kevin hasn't worked hard. It's neck and neck. If not one guy, then it's the other, but it just seems so widely accepted that Stephen Curry wasn't even considered. And I think that might be what irritates me the most, because he's a 2-time reigning MVP. Probably the best point guard in the league, in my opinion.
Who won the Finals MVP with Stephen Curry's first title?
Andre Iguodala. There's a crazy statistic. The finals that LeBron has lost, minus the first 2, so the last 2 that he's lost, or last 3 that he's lost. The MVP of the first series was against the Spurs, and Kawhi Leonard was guarding LeBron, and Kawhi Leonard won the Finals MVP. The second time was against the Warriors. Iguodala was guarding LeBron. Iguodala won MVP. The third time around, Kevin Durant obviously guarded LeBron all his series, and he wins MVP. So I think that speaks to LeBron's excellence, that even in losing, he's obviously just makes such an impact.
I think if people are considering him the greatest of all time, and he averaged a triple-double and still lost in the finals,
Actually, we're going to use what you just said to carry over into the next topic. We're just going to have to agree to disagree on that Finals MVP. It's over. Steph didn't get it. I'll have to live with it. It was the only thing I was wrong about for the entire playoff, so I don't really care.
There's always next year.
Well, yeah, the next few years for them, probably. Alright, on to the next one. LeBron James' legacy. Is it tarnished because of the loss in 5 games to such a dominating team?
The 3-5 record in the finals, I think, is bad enough when they compared him to Michael Jordan, who went 6-0 and three-peated twice. I don't think his legacy needs to revolve around that, but that's a big part of it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's got a lot of points. I think he took over first and went to the playoffs.
Yeah, and I read another crazy stat today that he has 6 triple-doubles in the finals, and that's second of all time behind only Magic Johnson. It's a pretty nice company to keep. I see what you're saying. So are you saying that his legacy is tarnished with the finals loss, or that it shouldn't be?
I don't think it should be, but I think it is, just because he's playing great in the finals, but for some reason he can't finish. He can't finish the series off.
He's outmanned. Well, here's my look at it, and I've been thinking about this one quite a bit today. His legacy, as far as one of the greatest of all time, he could quit tomorrow and he's probably a top 5 player of all time, hands down. But here's an analogy for you. When we're talking Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, what's the deciding factor between the two?
The rings.
Tom Brady has made it to 7 now. He's 5-2. And Peyton went what, 2-2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 2-2. Well, this is the same thing. winning matters. And when we start to talk about stats being what matters more than winning, if we're going to consider LeBron better than Michael, and we're just going to say because he has better stats, it's so disrespectful to guys like Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt once went a season averaging 50 points and 20 rebounds a game. Do you ever hear Wilt Chamberlain's name discussed when we're talking about best of all time? No. Because Bill Russell and the Celtics won 11 titles while Wilt won 2. The Celtics dominated him.
The only way you hear Wilt Chamberlain's name is the 100-point game.
Right, and he had like 54 rebounds one game, which is absolutely historic. But what I'm saying is, if we're just gonna go off stats and make it so that winning doesn't matter because people are saying, well, winning shouldn't be all that matters. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Because winning matters. When we stop counting winning as a thing that matters, what's even the point of playing the sport anymore? Wilt Chamberlain is the best loser of all time. LeBron might now be the greatest loser of all time. But he's only a 3-time champion in 8 attempts. Unacceptable. Kobe, 5-2. Michael, 6-0. Shaq, 4-2. Maybe even 4-1. I might have had Shaq's number wrong.
Possibly. How many did LeBron win with the Heat?
2. He went 2-1. 2-2. 2-2. I apologize. He lost his first year to the Mavericks in 5 or 6.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Really got dominated in that series. Second year, he beat up on the Thunder team when Kevin Durant was 23 years old. Congratulations, LeBron, you beat up on a kid. Third year he beat the Spurs, which shouldn't have, but Ray Allen bailed him out, and then he showed up in Game 7 big time. He did what he was supposed to do in that series. But then he lost again to the Spurs, and he didn't just lose, but what we just saw the Warriors do to him is what we saw the Spurs do to him that year. What I'm saying is, not only is his legacy tarnished because of this loss, but all the talk of he doesn't even deserve to be in the conversation with Mike anymore is spot on. He needs to go somewhere else for as far as conversation. We'll call him the greatest small forward of all time. We can call him the greatest point forward of all time. We can call him the farthest hairline of all time. I don't care what we call him. But we're not going to call him the greatest of all time anymore because winning matters. That's what it comes down to. You have anything else to add on that one?
It's kind of off topic, but they said that how they were saying that LeBron James won the first major title for Cleveland.
Yeah.
Really, it was Steph Meacham who won the UFC heavyweight division championship in the UFC.
If we're gonna go, I think we're considering team sports.
Well, I mean, technically, that is a team sport. I mean,
It comes down to one guy beating one guy up. I see what you're saying. It's him and his team training harder than the other guy, but
what's LeBron trying to do though? He's trying to beat up on the other guy to win the title.
It takes his team beating the other guy's team too. I think I see what you're saying, and that is a very good point. He maybe did bring the first title to Cleveland, but UFC is still growing. It's still, I mean, centuries behind the NBA and NFL and probably even baseball. I don't know about baseball, but
$1 billion corporation.
How much do you think the NBA would sell for right now?
Maybe.
Probably $1 trillion, honestly. It'd probably take $1 trillion to sell the NBA.
I don't know about trillion.
Actually, I'm gonna look that up real quick. I'm actually really interested in that.
I know Dana White, the UFC president, I think they were talking about him selling it for like, I think 60 billion, something like that. It was a high number.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because there's so much potential in it. I don't think that we can say it's in the level of the NBA and NFL. Just because, you know, those are America's sports. It's what we're good at.
What?
How much did you
stats
say?
are you looking at? I think I said 60 billion.
60 billion?
Yeah,
Alright, there's 32 teams, and it says each team would average about $5 billion. So, comes out to like 15 billion. But, that's not really important. We got a very interesting topic.
I think the only reason the UFC was so high was because all their sponsors.
Yeah,
but since they got rid of all their sponsors, and Reebok took over the UFC and pretty much made $1 million contract with them.
I'm actually really glad you brought the fight scene into this, brought in the UFC, because that's going to slide right into our next topic. The Mayweather-McGregor deal has finally become official.
Oh boy!
First of all, we're gonna start out with the most fun thing that I could think of as far as this goes. Who wins in how many rounds? 10-round fight.
I don't think it could. That's a 12-round fight.
12? I'm shocked by that. Okay, well, 12-round fight.
I don't think it gets past 6.
Who do you think wins?
They're pretty much identical. Mayweather's 5'8", 72-inch reach. McGregor's 5'9" with a 74-inch reach. But McGregor's got a nasty, nasty left hook. I mean, he proved that against Jose Aldo, but that could have either been just a lucky punch where he clipped him right in the chin and just laid him out, or it could have been just precise speed and, you know, that was the soft spot and it knocked him out. Because of all the fights that I've seen Jose Aldo fight, I've never seen him come in that hard at the beginning of the fight and try to knock him out. And when he did that, he paid for it and lost for the first time in, I think, 6-7 years. And then he just lost again to Max Holloway, which makes him two losses in a row, which, I mean, he's still going to go, Jose Aldo's going to go down as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. But going back to the McGregor-Mayweather fight, it's not going to go past the 6th round. I'm pulling for McGregor just because that's my guy. You know, I've been watching McGregor since he fought Dennis Siebert and just annihilated him.
Like there's a butt in there. Yeah.
But Mayweather took 23 months off. He's 40 years old. And his last couple fights, I mean, the Pacquiao fight, he got beat up in the 4th round. And then his last fight, he barely won. He just outpointed the other guy and won a decision. McGregor, he won a decision against Nate Diaz after coming off a loss to Nate Diaz and getting choked out. And then he KO'd Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight title to make him holding 2 titles in 2 different weight classes. That's the first time it's ever been done in the UFC, and he did it.
So your pick is Conor?
Oh, definitely Conor.
Interesting.
I mean, I hate to go against Mayweather because Mayweather's such a great fighter.
He's the GOAT as far as his weight division goes.
Well, he's 2 weight divisions now.
Yeah.
He's 2-1. He's 2-1 in the lightweight in the UFC, and he's
no, I'm talking about Floyd.
Oh, Floyd! Oh gosh, 49-0 with 26 knockouts.
Yeah, he's
ridiculous.
Something else. All right. Well,
they're both lightning fast with their punches. Like McGregor can hit you 3 times and get right back out before he gets hit. McGregor's so good at closing the distance and then getting out of there so quick that he's like a ghost. You can't hit him. I mean, yeah, he takes punches and stuff, but he's so good at just closing the distance and getting right back out. Just the way he moves, he's constantly moving and he's constantly throwing jabs. He's got a mean left hook.
Well,
if this was a UFC fight, McGregor would smash his fucking face in.
oh, no doubt.
But it's not. It's a boxing match because McGregor's gonna do spinning kicks to the body and just destroy his body and crush ribs. And Mayweather's never been used to that, so Mayweather would be out in the first 30 seconds. But boxing, I don't know. It's gonna be an amazing fight. Hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like, first of all, let me steal something from Stephen A. Smith here, my long-winded brother. I feel like you're picking with your heart and not your head. There's only one logical pick here, and Floyd Mayweather is undefeated for a reason. He's the greatest fighter in the history of his weight class, arguably in the history of boxing. Conor's never even been in the boxing ring for more than training. It's probably, if Conor does win, it's the old any man with two fists can pull anything off against anybody. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to win, but this matchup is just as lopsided as Cleveland versus Golden State. Floyd is going to win this fight. He's going to do it convincingly. And, I mean, I love Conor McGregor. I love me some Conor McGregor. He is probably my favorite fighter in the world.
Have you seen any fights with McGregor?
Yeah. I've seen UFC fights. It's another world, though. Right now he's chasing the GOAT.
I think if McGregor wins this fight, it'll probably be he'll get the biggest payout of his career. It's no doubt about it.
He's going to get the biggest payout even if he loses for his career.
Oh yeah, because when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, that win payout was $250 million. And the good thing about this fight is McGregor's only going to have to drop 1 pound because he's already in the 155 division and lightweight, and they're fighting with 10-ounce gloves, which I don't know too much about boxing. But McGregor's fighting style, he likes to throw punches. He doesn't like it to go to the ground, so that's why I think it's a good matchup. But McGregor pretty much has off the MMA right now, and he's just been boxing since I think after the Alvarez fight, because he's been wanting the Mayweather fight since July 15th. He started talking about it, the Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I'm sure he didn't just say that and then, just not even worry about practicing boxing.
No, he's definitely been practicing. There's no question there. But I'd say I'm an okay basketball player for your everyday average Joe. I'm okay.
Right.
If you told me tomorrow that I have a LeBron James, or even somebody my height, so Stephen Curry, and I have a year to train with high-class trainers and do everything the right way, come the year, Stephen Curry's going to not only embarrass me, but he's going to do it convincingly. And I love Conor McGregor, like I said. He's a great fighter. He's just not a boxer, and that's what it's going to come down to.
A lot of people from what I've heard, they don't like McGregor because he's
got a
just
big
so
mouth.
cocky.
Yeah.
But yet he backs it up every single time. And after the fight is over, win, lose, draw, he has the utmost respect for everybody.
I feel like that's not going to be the situation with Floyd.
When he fought Jose Aldo at the press conference, I think the night before the fight or something, or a couple nights before the fight, he said in Jose Aldo's language, which I don't know, I'm not sure what I know he's Brazilian. I don't know what they speak. I don't know their language, but
okay.
He said in Jose Aldo's language, he said, "I'm gonna kill you," in Jose Aldo's language. And then after the fight, he told Jose Aldo when they were getting ready to get their hands raised, he said, "I'm sorry, we'll go again. We'll definitely go again." Because McGregor wanted to win that fight, I know he did, but to win it like that, I don't think he wanted to. I think he wanted to make it a show.
Yeah, he's a showman. That's what he is. He's an entertainer. He's a hell of an entertainer. He's really good. I'm going to play devil's advocate really quickly and give you a situation where Conor does end up winning. You've seen Rocky 1, obviously, right?
Right.
Okay, that's his only shot, as if Floyd comes into the fight with the, well, I'm just here because I'm here, you know, just got to get paid mentality, and thinking it's already in the bag. That's Conor's best shot. He's got to catch him off guard.
I think win, lose, or draw. If McGregor gets beat, he wins. He goes back to the UFC and he fights Tyron Woodley for the UFC Welterweight Championship, because after his lightweight win, he was talking so much shit to Tyron Woodley about taking his title too, and that would be another huge payout. The UFC is just going to keep giving Conor McGregor the fights he wants because they're making more money than they ever have on just a single fight. So many people are buying the card because Conor McGregor is out of this world. He's ridiculous.
Yes. As Ronda Rousey was, but we know what happened to her.
Yeah, and look what happened to McGregor when he went up to lightweight for the first time. He got choked out like a bitch. He got choked out by Nate Diaz. And Nate Diaz is a freaking... I think he trains with the Gracies. I'm pretty sure he trains with the Gracies, which their submission techniques are out of this world good. And the Diaz brothers are amazing boxers.
Absolutely.
So between the boxing and the Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, they're nuts. I mean, yeah, they win some, they lose some, and they're the cockiest people in the UFC.
Here's an interesting theory.
What's up?
Say this fight's a huge success and very competitive, which I don't see happening. Well, let's pretend it's going to be competitive. What doors do you think this could open for UFC and boxing, you know, for their top fighters to just face off like this? Do you think it's going to happen more if this is successful, or do you think it's kind of just going to die out?
It's going to die out just because McGregor just wants the big payout fights, and he wants to take out the best in the world. And he's already proven that with the Jose Aldo fight. He's taken out the best. He took out the pound-for-pound fighter, probably the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Minus Floyd Mayweather.
and now he's going after Mayweather. If he could bump up to 205, I'm sure he'd want to take on John Jones.
You know what everybody's going to say, even if Conor ends up winning, right? You know what we're going to hear the next day.
What's that?
He couldn't beat a young Floyd. He beat an old man, old retired man. He just Sure, anybody can
no.
beat somebody who hasn't fought in 2 years.
No one's been able to beat Floyd.
Oh,
So
right.
if McGregor can beat him, he's 40 years old. Mayweather is 40 years old. He's taken 23 months off, which means his last couple fights, he was over 36 years old. So really, when you think about it, that's not that bad.
Yeah. You're right, it's not. But having taken almost 2 years off now, it'll be over 2 years when the fight takes place. And, you know, maybe there is some ring rust. Maybe Conor wins, and that's all Floyd wants to talk about, you know? He couldn't have beat me when I was younger. I see that happening. If Conor ends up winning, we're going to hear a lot of excuses.
Well, if McGregor wins, that's the thing about McGregor. He's humble whether he wins or loses. After the Diaz fight, he pretty much said it was a learning experience. I've never lost the UFC. I lost the UFC. It's a learning experience. And he came back. A lot of people said the second fight he just ran away from him. He ran away from him.
It's called the Floyd technique.
He also did damage. Obviously, he did enough damage to win that fight.
It was a heck of a fight, if I remember.
Yeah, it went all the way to a decision.
Alright.
Anybody who says that McGregor is, you know, he just fights the big guys to win, that's a business. If you're good enough, I'd fight whoever you want to.
Okay, so to top this conversation off, we're gonna go with I got Mayweather, you got McGregor. I got Mayweather rather convincingly.
What round do you think it goes to?
It's gonna go all 12. That's the problem.
You think it's gonna go decision?
Yeah, and that's why Floyd's gonna win. Floyd's gonna avoid him for 11 rounds. He's so fast, man. He is so fast. You can't hit him.
Fast.
No, absolutely. Yeah, but so is Manny Pacquiao, which would also be a good matchup for Floyd or for McGregor.
The Manny Pacquiao Mayweather fight. I didn't watch it personally, but from what I heard, I watched highlights on it recently. Mayweather, he was tagging him, but he really wasn't doing any damage.
Right, and that's Floyd's technique. Doesn't it look better to hit 59 out of 70 shots than hitting 40 out of 130? It looks better. The percentage is better. You're hitting him more. And that's his technique.
Yeah,
he's going to hit you twice with a jab. He's going to stay awake because he knows if he gets hit, he might just have a glass jaw. Who knows?
Yeah, and he basically made $250 million to tag him and then run away. That's basically what he did the whole fight.
Isn't that a part of his greatness? The fact that he has the mind to know all I gotta do is hit at him and run and I win. It's a very weaselly way of winning, obviously. I don't approve. Doesn't matter if I approve, he's rich. He doesn't care what I think. Oh my gosh, another turnover.
But August 29th, though.
Yeah, August 29th. We'll go to Wings, we'll watch it.
We ain't even gonna go to Wings. We're just gonna be at my house drinking some beer, watching that fight.
Alright, let's
July 29th, Johnny Bone Jones comes back to fight Daniel Cormier.
Assuming he can stay healthy.
Oh, he's healthy.
Can he stay sober?
I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man, he is a changed man. In my opinion, he's cut out everybody bad in his life, and he's ready. Do I think he comes back as the same John Jones? It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell.
Yeah, it's highly unlikely. Not highly impossible, but very highly unlikely.
I can see him being better. But
you think he could be better?
Oh, I think he'll be better. I think he'll be better.
That'd be interesting.
I think he beats up Cormier and wins in a decision, or wins unanimous decision.
I think if John's gonna win, he's gonna knock him out. I don't think he's built for a long fight like that anymore.
Oh, his last couple of title fights went decision with Alexander Gustafsson and Cormier.
Yeah. I said anymore. That was a few years ago. Alright, so
I told you that was gonna be a long conversation, man. You got me into that. Got me into Conor McGregor zone, man.
what do we got next on the list?
We have. Let's kick off with some football here.
Excellent. My second favorite sport to talk about.
Since we brought up Tom Brady, how do you think this season goes for the Patriots?
I remember thinking about this topic. I think the Patriots have a very good chance at going undefeated this year. Brady's obviously getting older. Eventually he's going to hit that wall, fall off the cliff, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Now's not the time, though.
They have a fairly not so difficult schedule. I don't want to say easy just because,
Well, they're in the AFC East. That makes their schedule 6 games easier than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean their first 2 games are against the Chiefs and at New Orleans. So I mean that should be good. That should be a good first 2 matchups. And then they have a homestand against the Texans and the Panthers, which the Panthers game should be decent. And then I think when they're at Tampa Bay, week 5, that should be a really good game.
You said at Tampa?
Yeah, they're at Tampa Bay.
I think with the addition of the receivers they've had and the fact that they haven't lost on defense, and the Patriots not only need to be favored to win the Super Bowl this year, which they are, I think by anybody with logic in their brain. Barring injury, the Patriots should really storm their way through the regular season and the playoffs. Yeah, I'm going to go 16-0 for the Patriots this season. I think they're going to break the Dolphins' old record, and it's going to be Brady giving the official cap of GOAT.
You think they go undefeated and win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, 19-0. They're going to finish it off, I think. Let me make it known, I'm a Lions fan. I'd love to see Matthew Stafford hoist the trophy, but let's be real with each other.
You don't see week 11 at Oakland. You don't see them getting taken out by the Raiders.
Well, we're assuming Derek Carr's healthy and Amari Cooper's healthy, and I can't believe I keep turning the ball over. Yeah, assuming Marshawn Lynch is healthy, which I don't think he's gonna be for so long this year. I think he's gonna have issues this year that other people seem to be just thrown out the window. It took years off. You don't just do that in the NFL. Not everybody's Brett Favre.
I don't know.
Go on.
Who do you have in the Super Bowl with the Patriots then?
It's the Seahawks or the Packers or the Cowboys. It doesn't matter either way. If I had to pick one right now, probably the Seahawks. If they can get their stuff together. If they can't get their stuff together, it's probably going to be the Cowboys.
See, I don't see the Seahawks anymore. I think the Cowboys are going to be the new up-and-coming team in the NFC.
And that's still not going to matter for the next couple of years, as long as that number 12 out in New England's still around. I think the NFL is pretty one-sided like the NBA right now.
Yeah, but everybody gets beat, so...
Yeah. Until they don't. I've got 9 turnovers in this game. This is ridiculous. Gonna get a double-double with turnovers before I do points.
We got 19 points right now.
What do we got next on the list? Next to the Patriots.
Well, we got a great quote by Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly came out and said that they have a 4-star corner coming in the 2008 season. They play the Michigan Wolverines week 1. Brian Kelly said his 4-star corner that they picked up, his rookie season, his
Freshman year, yeah.
They will beat the Michigan Wolverines 48-10.
Gosh, I remember hearing this the first time, and it sounds just as crazy now. And I still can't talk long about it because he's an idiot.
I know, but that's the thing though. It could be 2 different teams next year, or 2018. I mean, not saying Michigan's gonna, just drop all their players,
Well, maybe they do, maybe Harbaugh's ways fall off and things don't work out.
Right.
But even then, Brian Kelly has to make it to 2018 as the head coach for this to even be a possibility. He has,
especially coming off a 4-8 season.
I think he'll get fired before they blow Michigan out like that.
I think if he has another losing record, he's done.
Yeah, Notre Dame's a winning school. They're the Texas of the North, They expect to win and they're going to win, or you're gone. That's what it needs to be. And if they're making exceptions for a guy that Brian Kelly, who couldn't recruit a defensive player if they were the only school left in the country.
See, now if they go 500 this season, what happens? Do you think he stays for 1 more year, or do you think they're just like, nah?
I think in today's college football, one thing matters, and that means getting it into the Final Four. Am I wrong there? So,
you're definitely not wrong.
I think going 500 at schools like Alabama, Notre Dame, Michigan, Texas, these schools, it's not good enough. And that needs to be the standard. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And we shouldn't make exceptions for coaches who couldn't do anything to save their life. I'm sorry, Brian Kelly's my least favorite person in America right now. Can't stand this guy.
Alright, I have a question.
Alright.
Since Ohio State, my team, the Buckeyes, they brought in Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Do you think Michigan went after Jim Harbaugh to try to take down Ohio State, since they've only won 1 game against Ohio State in 10 years? Do you think they brought him in to stop that streak?
Now, first things first. As a Wolverine, our first priority is beating the Buckeyes. We could go 0-11, win our 12th game against Ohio State, and consider the season successful. That's what it comes down to. However, no. I think Jim Harbaugh was a great quarterback at the University of Michigan, had a great NFL career, even better coaching career in the NFL. Even though short, he'll be back someday, I fear. No, I don't think that we got him specifically to beat you guys, but we maybe looked at it at the time. Hey, this is the guy that's gonna bring us the rivalry back, which 0-2 so far isn't a good start. But still playing with hoax recruits. We'll see how things go.
Well, I mean, they still are playing against one of the most. He knows how to win rivalry games. I mean, he was in the SEC for.
Oh yeah, he carried Florida. He had Tim Tebow as a quarterback, who was great in college. All respect given to Tim. But he hasn't he's done everything, you know. Urban Meyer, he's a Hall of Famer. He's great. I don't like him either. I might like him a little more if he was coaching anywhere else.
Now the Buckeyes head coach.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I just got called for my 3rd charge in this game. That might have been my 4th, actually. That is ridiculous. When I go back to watch this video, I'll show you. It's crazy. I can't believe it. Yeah, I mean, same reason you don't like Jim Harbaugh. You know, Harbaugh quarterback the Colts. You kind of got to feel a little love for him in that sense.
Oh, I have nothing, you know, but respect for Harbaugh. I mean, he went back to help a struggling Michigan team, and now the past couple years since he's been coaching, the Michigan-Ohio State game isn't a blowout anymore. It's interesting. It's fun to watch. It's on the edge of your seat the whole game.
I'd
like
say
last year
was, but his first year with none of his recruits and a beat-up offensive line, it was ugly.
Yeah, it was. But I think Michigan. I hate saying this. I hate it. But next year or the year after that, Michigan will finally top Ohio State.
I think, like you said, it's a rekindle to a great relationship and a great rivalry, rather. And football's better when Michigan and Ohio State are good. When Texas and Oklahoma are good, you know. USC, when they're good, football's more fun to watch. So, I really hope that you're right. I hope the rivalry is rekindled and things just go really well for the Wolverines, and maybe even get both teams in the Final Four a few times. I see that happening.
Oh, definitely. The only thing that sucks about that is I'd love to see them back, you know, in the Final Four. But the only bad thing is, even if they're 3-4 in the finals in the week 12 of the season, whoever loses, I think, is out of the playoffs. Even if they're both undefeated, I think whoever loses that game, if they're 3-4, is out of the playoffs.
I think it depends on what's beneath them, and if you look at it from the perspective of, let's say Michigan's 3 and Ohio State's 4. Michigan's 11-0, Ohio State's 10-1. Winner goes into the Big Ten championship game, and Ohio State pulls it out. I think in that situation, Michigan goes into the tournament as a 4 seed. But, or vice versa. It'd be a lot more fun, I guess, for both of them to have odds into the tournament if they played earlier in the season. I think it'd be more likely and more fun to be able to think about. But
they'll never play early in the season just because people wait all year long.
Yeah, it's the game. It's the name of the rivalry. All right, we're gonna drop this one.
The only thing I hate about that is we wait till the end of the year, and most of the time we wait and it's a blowout, like the past couple years with Ohio State and Michigan.
I stopped watching. I stopped watching college football for a few years, if we're gonna be fully honest with each other. I didn't really care anymore.
I got one more thought for you.
Alright.
Who's in the Final Four this year?
Talking about college football or basketball? Probably football.
Yeah, football.
Well, let's take the given team. Alabama will be there. That's a given. It's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. Let's not fight the inevitable. We'll say Bama, Michigan, boy, after that it really gets foggy. I'm gonna say USC is gonna have a rebooted season. Got a great quarterback this year. And probably, I don't know, Wisconsin maybe. I see two Big Ten teams getting in.
See, I don't think you can have Wisconsin in there with
the Ohio State Michigan, like you just said, if I don't think you can put Michigan in the Final Four without Ohio State.
Unless Ohio State bombs the season.
Which is very highly unlikely.
And it all depends on how the game itself goes. How about you? Who you got in your Final Four? Who do you think?
I got Bama. I don't know. It's so tough because...
Yeah, we don't know anything about the season, obviously.
Because we don't know how Clemson's going to be with a redshirt freshman.
I'll tell you how Clemson's going to be. They're going to be the worst defending champions we've seen in years. Clemson's going to fall off the map.
There's no way. They'll go 10-2, or they'll go 10-2 or 9-3.
Actually, I'm going to replace Wisconsin in that. It'll be Louisville, not Wisconsin.
I don't think Lamar Jackson has what it takes to reboot that season.
He's so talented. I don't know. Probably.
I got Bama. If I got Oklahoma, I can see being in there.
Doesn't Oklahoma start the season with Ohio State?
No, that's second game of the season.
Okay. So Bama, OU.
Then I gotta put a Big Ten team in there just because there's always gonna be a Big Ten team.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes just because that's my school. And then I don't know. Pac-12 is basically Pac-12 is nothing anymore. I mean, ever since Mariota left, Oregon's garbage. Washington will not have the same season. They'll have a terrible season. Stanford, they lost their best player, so they're out. I don't know. That fourth spot is. I could definitely see USC being in there.
Yeah, I think they're going to be much improved this year.
I think USC goes undefeated in the Pac-12.
That's a pretty good prediction, I think. All right, let's jump the ship. I think we got some baseball talk next.
We do have some baseball talk.
What do we got?
We got the big bad Aaron Judge.
He's a bad man, that's for sure. What's your take on Aaron?
He's scary.
He's terrifying.
He is a beast, batting .347, 22 home runs, 49 RBIs, and a .728 slugging percentage. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. Aaron Judge is he's got a lot of Ken Griffey Jr. in him, I think, as far as being ahead of everybody else at such a young age. I think seeing a rivalry between him and Mike Trout over the next 15 to 20 years is going to be a lot of fun.
Who do you got winning MVP?
MVP's tough. I don't really know, because we don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the year. If we ended the season right now, it would be Aaron Judge. But by the end of the year, most likely Mike Trout.
Yeah, I don't know. I really haven't heard anything about Mike Trout this season, which is weird. I mean, we could all make the case for Ryan Zimmerman too. So.
Isn't he in the NL?
I believe so.
Yeah. All right. Who do you think is going to win the World Series?
I got the Yankees in the World Series. The way they've been playing.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I can see the Yankees. I can see the Rockies. I can see the Astros.
You said my pick. My pick to win it is the Houston Astros. They're the best team in baseball right now. It's not really close. Baseball's hard to tell. Teams are so up and down. I mean, the Cubs could be the best team in the world by October. Don't really know what we're walking into.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, I think that's it for baseball. That conversation died out pretty quickly. I lost interest.
That's because baseball is just, it's just so...
It's pretty bland.
There's not really much to talk about. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about going forward of the season.
What else you got?
Well, what are your thoughts on Eric Decker? Where you see him going?
Eric Decker. Where I want him to go is the Lions. I think he'd be a nice fit. Where I think he'll go, I can see him winding up with the Saints. They just lost Brandon Cooks. They need a #1 receiver. So, you know, Breeze needs a guy to throw the ball to, and Decker's a sure set of hands. AP can't touch the ball 40 times a game anymore at this point in his career.
The Saints have no desire to get Eric Decker. They have no desire.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Payton pulls a bunny out of his hat and gets him. Where do you think he's going to end up? Baltimore? I don't think they can afford him.
I think no. They only have $5.5 million in the cap room. I don't see it. I see Eric Decker going to the NFC.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I don't think the Browns. You'd think the Browns would look at him after losing Terrell Pryor, but I don't see it.
I don't think the Browns are trying to win yet.
And I read something about the Bills looking at him because they're going to be losing 3 receivers in the offseason next year.
I don't see him going to the Bills. Wouldn't it be something if he found a way into New England?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Maybe he goes back to Denver.
No, Denver does not want anything to do with him.
I don't blame him. Alright.
I could see him going to Miami.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good fit. It's a good market for a guy that seems to care a lot about himself.
I did pick an NFC team, so I could go. I could see Chicago or San Francisco, something like that.
I could see Chicago. They definitely need weapons right now, losing Alshon. Give the kid that Mitch Trubisky kid something to throw to.
How do you think he does first season?
I think he was a waste of everything. I hope Mitch Trubisky proves me wrong because I really like seeing quarterbacks be successul. But
oh yeah, I would love to see him have a better season than Deshaun Watson.
I wouldn't count on that.
No, I don't either. Deshaun Watson's got so many more threats to work with.
Yeah, he's just got a better team all around. Wow.
It's a good conversation.
I think of the rookie quarterbacks, Watson will be the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. What if Deshaun Kaiser breaks through, though?
That would be really good for the Browns.
Yeah, no kidding.
If Deshaun Kaiser can win 5 games in his first season, that's who they're going to start building around. They're going to start building around Kaiser.
He's got to stay healthy too. think it's been an issue for him.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Very interesting season.
Yeah. I think it'll be kind of like the NBA. The regular season's just kind of irrelevant. We kind of, if everybody stays healthy, I think we know the outcome of the season already.
Right.
But that's the thing about the NFL. Nobody's going to stay healthy, so we don't know what's going to happen or who. I'm really interested.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What's next, man? I think we got one or two more.
We got KD and Steph with the free agencies.
Actually, this is something that I've been wanting to talk about. Thanks for bringing that one up. It's really interesting. What if Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, both free agents this year, by the way, which is a terrifying thought, if they want to leave the Bay and create something somewhere else. I don't know why they would do that, but the NBA is so wacky anymore, and I don't know why anything happens. But if KD and Steph stay together, but they go somewhere else, say where they're already kind of all together, and this is just not going to happen. Let me clear it up. They're staying in Oakland, and they're going to win a few more championships. But hypothetically,
Without a doubt.
they're both free agents this offseason. Stephen Curry's from Charlotte. He said he'd be interested in playing for the Hornets. That's on record. That's a quote. So if Steph leaves, but KD stays, what do you think? You think they're still the favorite?
If KD stays,
Yeah, but Steph leaves.
I think if Steph leaves, oh, man, that's kind of tough because if it's just Steph Curry leaving, that's cap room that they could, use for in free agency. They can pick up.
Here's a fun fact: the greatest point guard in the game right now is Stephen Curry. We both know that. A guy named Reggie Jackson, I don't know if you ever heard of him, probably not, plays for the Detroit Pistons. Reggie Jackson makes more money than Stephen Curry does. He has for the last couple years. This is the first year in NBA history where any player qualifies for a $200 million contract. I think
That's a lot of money.
only one player is going to get it, and it's not going to be Steph, and it's not going to be LeBron, and it's not going to be KD. It's going to be Chris Paul. Wherever he goes, he's going to get the big bucks.
Really?
Yeah, because Steph and KD have both said that they'll take pay cuts to stay in Golden State. And LeBron won't sign a 5-year contract because he's too unfaithful.
Where do you see Chris Paul going if he leaves?
If he leaves Los Angeles and he doesn't go to Cleveland to build with LeBron to try to beat the Warriors, if Chris Paul stays old school like he is and wants to build everything on his own, it'll be San Antonio with Kawhi Leonard. And
That'd be nice to go see. It'd be nice to see him go to Phoenix with Devin Booker.
It's just not enough to go around yet. Phoenix is still really young. They've got their point guard. Chris would just hurt the process. However, I'm going to go ahead and call this. Thank you if you watched. Leave comments in the comment section where people happen to comment. And just let me know things that you might want to hear people talk about. I understand we kind of dragged out some pretty boring conversations maybe to other people. I had a good time though. So
It's a good time talking sports.
if you liked it, subscribe, like the video, share it on Facebook. If you made it this far, congratulations. There's no prize. But
Throw upside for nothing.
that's a wrap.